Okay, what's up, man? So I have not looked at any replays yet. So I'm going to be looking at them live and then, pausing on things that I want to say or whatever. But one thing I can say is, I don't know if you've watched these already, but one thing I can say is watching your own replays is never a bad thing. So here I'm just checking the information, what happened. Interesting. But yeah. I mean, like, because actually, well, what I wanted to say actually is, I'm gonna go off of what you said at the end of your message, which is, what more can I do? I love that question and I feel like I can help with that because I've literally spent so much time in this fucking game thinking, how the hell do I get better at this game? And how do I force wins? How do I guarantee wins? Let me make sure I don't go over 15 minutes here. Forgot to set this up. Okay. Yeah, I spent a ton of time thinking about that, and then I accomplished, getting to Celestial. I wanted to get to Eternity. Maybe I will in the future, but once I got to Celestial, I was like, shit, man, I've made so much progress. I feel a lot better now about progressing. But yeah, what more can I do? So yeah, what I found is, like, anytime that I just see my own replay, I don't even have to be putting effort into it or really focusing on it that much. Since my brain is focused on, like, what can I do to improve my situation, I got distracted because I realized my game is in Chinese, and I'm thinking, will that affect you watching this? Whatever, we can try it out. You can let me know. Be like, oh wow, it was really hard to watch this because it's in Chinese, or was it not really a big deal? But anyway, it gives you a new perspective, switch things up. All right, what are we doing right now? Oh, but I wanted to finish that thought, which is, anytime I saw my own gameplay, it just made me think, like, what am I doing right now? It makes me think because, the way that we work as humans, I guess, is like, we just do stuff. It's all real time. It's all happening automatically. We're not really deciding what to do. So to look at your own behavior, literally exactly what you did, is incredibly powerful. And it can just reveal a ton of things about you, about yourself to yourself, and you can just spawn ideas like, oh shit, next time I'll do this, or I'll realize not to do that. But it's also a lot more subtle than that. It might not be something you can put into words or even consciously realize. It's just like, oh, you're gaining information about yourself. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into the game. Okay, so what I'm thinking right now is, okay, we have pretty good coverage because, can I quickly get into, excuse me, I just need to get better at utilizing what I'm doing here. How do I get to free camera? C. Okay, I already pressed that, so I know what I'm doing a little bit. Like, what I'm noticing right off the bat is, oh, okay, but here's what we missed. So it's like, okay, this is, what the fuck? It's like, oh, okay, we got into the center. How are the two teams going to stack up against each other? That's one of the first things I want to know when a match is happening, right? That's like the first thing I want to know is, and I'm in this situation, I'm you, right? I'm the tank. I'm coming in the middle. What am I able to do? We can see right away we're pushing up. Like, let's say before you got to this point where you are, and you're more like right here, that's already a great indication of, like, our team, for whatever reason, is able to take the space of the point. And I'm going to tell you right now, going forward is a danger zone. Because now they're protected. They got a bunch of, what do you call this? Cover. They got a bunch of this stuff that they can hang around. They can survive and they can boom. They got the hella. Everybody's at a closer distance to you. It's just the way that the game is. I might be talking a lot at the beginning. I don't know. Obviously you know stuff about the game, but I'm just going to go over all my ideas. basically, like, however it works is like the further you are from your healers and the closer you are to the people damaging you, it will make a massive difference. Where you know what I mean? Like, it depends on a bunch of factors and stuff like that, but you can die quick if you get separated from your healers or even just too much distance. So that's the first thing that I'm thinking of, is we are able to take this space. So first of all, I would not push this much. Basically, what I need to know is my team with me? Because if my team is with me and the game is literally going to be this easy that we can collapse onto the enemy and just destroy them right off the bat, so be it. You know, that's a good game right there. That's an easy win. More than likely, it's not going to be that, right? Because it's ranked matchmaking. We can expect that the other team has tricks up their sleeve as well. And here we go. I was wondering what's going on. And we do have something going on. So that's why it's not really a good idea to be this character and be jumping in like this. Because how are you going to get out? I've never played this character myself. I know people use shift to get out and stuff like that. So I'll kind of see what happens. But I don't want to be too... I'm not being too critical of this. But I am saying, you know, the thing that I personally would definitely be thinking is, I don't want to push up here. I don't want to get that close. I want to sort of hang in this space. It's different if we're closing in on them in a different situation. Which they do actually have a late person, so it actually is a good time to close in on them. But I don't know. It's just tough without knowing what the rest of my team is doing. And in this situation, yeah. Our team is also extremely backed up. I mean, that guy, what's his name? Cyclops is way back there. This guy's up here too, but I mean, more than likely he's gonna die. He's checking back. I don't know how long he's looking back. And then, I mean, he is way back here. And then this motherfucker's back here too with Thor. You know. So your team is kind of focusing on that right now. And that nobody's even looking at you. So let's see what happens. I'll try to get into a good position here. I can't really get into a great position, but it's fine. So this is kind of the downside to pushing up this far. You didn't know that this guy was going to do this. This is a questionable decision, but from his perspective, this probably doesn't look that bad. He forgot. He doesn't know about these guys. He doesn't know exactly what you guys are doing. And he might be expecting you guys to not push out. Like I said, that was the first thing I noticed was we got to like right here, and it's like, whoa, we're taking this space easy. So this is a danger zone. We never want to just, boom, let me get closer and closer. That, like in my mind, I'm literally already imagining this player's death because it's just too risky to do that, you know? So he might think you guys are staying safe around here somewhere. And so he thinks we got to get rid of this guy because a Thor in your backline can be a problem. You never know in some of these matches, you know. Like, it looks pretty good, right? You have this guy, you have this guy, you have this guy. That's pretty much enough to deal with a Thor. But a Thor can be a tricky character. You know, he might snag somebody, he might get a kill, he might be super annoying for a long time. And these people are struggling to kill him and stuff like that. So from his perspective, he's like, man, I got a clean shot on this guy. Let's just get rid of him. And in general, you can expect that from these lobbies in general, but especially at a lower rank. They'll just forget about the other stuff going on. So we want to sort of play with that in mind a little bit, which that's a common topic. Like, that's something that I thought about a lot because I wanted to increase my wins, right? Let's continue. So yeah, he did die. He was in trouble for a while. You got out of it. That's nice. But I think I got the point across. I mean, because I could review, like, basically I could go back and I could look from, like, the Hellas perspective and see how close were they to killing you, and did they just miss their shots, right? Because I mean, you weren't getting any healing, right? Maybe she started healing you or something. So it was very, very risky because all you needed is a little bit. Most likely, all you needed was a little bit of a better Hela, and even these people were performing a little better, and you'd probably just be dead right off the bat. So it's not. I would call that not a Celestial level play, right? Because in Celestial, you just die. Alright, let's get back to this. Nice. It looks like you're checking around and stuff like that. I'm going to kind of refamiliarize myself with what the hell is even going on. Let's just start right here. Alright, so what's going on right now? This is going on. It's good. You got healed. You're getting healed by everybody, so you take the space again. It's you and the other tank. Let's see, what's this guy going through? What's his problem? He's just behind the healer, so he's struggling. This person's struggling too, and then we have this guy on him. And it's just not going well for these guys. So right off the bat, I can see that this isn't, you know, this is not, like if I'm you, this is not my fault. My team is having a little bit of a breakdown. This guy should not be letting himself be like, you know, low health and stuff like that. I don't know, it's a little complicated, but you just gotta make some kind of connection with the healers. And of course we could say maybe the healers didn't do what they needed to do as well. But that's another thing to think about too. That's something I really started to pay attention to when I played tank, was just because I can doesn't mean I should. If the healers are focused on me, I'm getting healed like crazy, I can do whatever I want, I'm having a good time, that's actually kind of a bad sign. Because it means, you know, the healers have finite resources. So if I take everything all the time, that's actually not good. So I actually want to have that in mind all the time, of like, I'm kind of like, you know, being fluid with how I share the healing, and I share the healer focus, right? The healer's being focused on me. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened here or whatever, but that's just an idea to bring up for sure. Yeah, let's see what happens. So yeah, it looks like, I don't know, you heard him, you kind of knew what was happening, so you turned around, it looks good. And we'll also check on, you know, just to learn about what happens in the game, what's happening over here. It looks bad. You know, too many people are low health. Both the healers are turned around. This guy, hopefully he'll realize what's going on and use his sustain to kind of work back into the team. Nice movement. So now we're kind of stuck, so let's see what we do from here. Okay, so it's a little tricky. So basically, what I caught from that was, you know, the team was not even looking at you, so you're able to sort of do whatever you wanted there, but that's because they realized they were getting 2 kills, and the fight's pretty much over now. Let's see, how can I can go back. So yes, it's back to this moment. Oh, yep. So these people are fighting. So we're doing this. That guy's struggling. His positioning and stuff like that is all fucked up. That doesn't mean that he's going to play poorly the entire game, but it does mean that he made a poor decision right there. And this guy's also in a rough position. I mean, from his perspective, he might feel like it's okay to go after this guy and try to force that, but it's not, because you literally have 2 healers right here. You know what I mean? And you got nothing from your team, and you got your back turned towards them. It's basically, you're basically offering yourself up. Here, please kill me. It's gonna be very difficult to get this kill as well, because they can get healed. All right, that's 1 video down. Oh my gosh, it's taking way too long, but you know, I got some of my ideas out already. Keep going for a bit. You know, ideally I would watch like all the matches to kind of get, you know, what do you do when you win, what do you do when you lose, what do you do on different characters and stuff like that. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to just make tons and tons of videos here. Yeah.